All right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. This is Anthony Smoak. Go ahead and check me out on anthonysmoak.com. Definitely hit subscribe here on YouTube. As always, if you learned something, go ahead, hit that like button, leave a comment, and make sure you ring the bell so you get a notification when I drop a new video. So today, back in Tableau, I want to show you this technique here for a stacked bar chart. So you see I have a legend up top here. And when I select anywhere on the legend, my stacked bar chart updates and I get the totals for the segments that are left on the stacked bar chart. So if I just go one, I just get the totals that update for that one city here, and then I can put things back in, and then they disappear, leaving the total by city. If I get rid of everything, then nothing shows up at all. So pretty cool technique. I have to shout out Dorian, and I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. Forgive me, Dorian Benatoyu, and follow him at Canonicalized Co on Twitter. You can also follow me on Twitter if you aren't already at Anthony Smoak. But Dorian put out a Makeover Monday visualization using this technique about 2 years ago on his Tableau Public page. And I recently saw the visualization, downloaded the workbook, reverse engineered the steps, rebuilt it using Tableau Superstore data. And obviously, I'm recording and editing a video, so now you can follow along much easier because this data set is widely available, Tableau Superstore, and you don't have to invest the time into reverse engineering, right? You leave that to me. That's why I'm here. I'm here to teach. But big shout out to Dorian for coming up with this technique I'm about to walk you through. Give him a follow on Tableau Public and Twitter. He puts some good stuff out there. And then this is on my Tableau Public page for you to download if you need to pick it apart further. And again, I encourage you to check out Dorian's Makeover Monday version on his Tableau Public page. So let's get into this. We're going to build this. I'm not going to, we're not going to get fancy with my logos and icons here and the coloring. I'm going to give you the base build here. So let's get into this. All right. So the first thing we need to do is create our stacked bar chart. So we're going to create a calculation to kick us off here. And this is going to be a level of detail calculation. So I'm going to call this LOD sales per city. And this is going to be the calculation. So at a city level, I want the sum of sales. And I never want that to change. I want this to show me that total at a city level, no matter what happens in the visualization. So that's why we're using the fixed LOD. I'm going to say, okay, I can drag that up to columns, right? And now I'm looking for sales. I'm also going to drag that up to columns. And then I'm looking for city. Let's put that on the rows. And let's sort this. So we have these cities here that are showing me the various total of sales by that city. And let's go ahead and put I can put the LOD sales per city on label. So let's do that. Let's put that on the label so I can see something there. And then I'm going to right click and we're going to go to default properties, number format. Let's make this a currency custom. I don't want any decimals. So we end up with something like that. So we can see New York City has $256,397 in sales. So good deal there. So on my LOD, on this first one right here, what I can do, let's change the color. Let's go down to maybe this fourth one here. How does that look? Okay. Just want to differentiate the total here versus what we're going to show, what's going to update based upon what categories we select. So we need a differentiation in that color. I'm going to go into the tooltip here and just clear this out. I don't think we need that on that one. On my sum of sales, I'm going to place the category on color. So I'm going to come up here on the sum of sales. Let's go to category and put that on color. So I get the different slices there. And then on the tooltip, let's go into the tooltip. I can get rid of this right here. Let's get rid of that. Actually, what I can do And I'm just going to cheat a little bit here because I already know what I want to see. If you take a look, I got category in city, sales, sum of sales. So obviously if you need to insert, you can go in here, insert category, insert city, and then insert sum of sales. So I kind of know what I want there. So, oops, it didn't get rid of my, oh, yes it did. Why did it not? I'm gonna go to all here. Let's look in the tooltip. There we go. Let's get rid of this in the all because we don't need it there. Actually, I don't need, let me see if I get rid of this here. Experimentation, because really I just want to see, this is all I want to see. Let's try that again. All right, so it's showing me that on my tooltip, but, oh, maybe I just need to get rid of this right here. There we go. I just need to get rid of that. So bear with me. I just wanted my tooltip updated. So furniture in Los Angeles, I can see what the sales are. Office supplies, right, 48,000, and Seattle 30. Office technology in LA 73. So it's all the same. So we just need to get that situation correct here on the tooltip. All right, easy for me to do, right? So now let's create a set on our cities that we want to show in the viz. So I'm just going to select maybe the top 10 here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I'm going to shout out D-Town over Springfield here. Sorry, Springfield. Let's create a set. And let's call that, we can call it whatever we want, city set, something to that effect. City set, say OK, and then let's put that on the filter. So I only see those cities that I want to see, and let's make this the entire view. All right, there we go. So now, you could probably see what's going to happen at some point. We're going to create a dual axis here. These are going to be on top of each other, and I'll still have this total, and we'll have the 3 slices as well. So if you're astute, you probably see that coming. So let's now create 3 sets, one each for furniture, office supplies, and technology, right? So if I right-click on my category, I can say create set, and then let's pick furniture first, and let's call this furniture set. And that only, right, it only has furniture in it. So I'm going to say OK. And now I'm going to do the same thing. Let's create a set, and this is going to be on office supplies, and I'm just going to call this supplies set. Say OK. And you know what? I typically like to do this. Sometimes you'll see me with this in front. That's just because I want that to go to the top. Right, you see how that jumps up there. So you'll see that sometimes in my workbooks if you download them, just kind of this underscore. So that was my supplies. What did I do? Office, furniture set. You see, you got to look for these things when you, if you don't do that. I know you can search, but let's go ahead and do that. So that brings it to the top here. And then let's do one more. Let's create a set finally for technology. We're going to call this technology set. So we're basically just setting up the sets we need to update the visual. So I have 3 sets. Let me go back in here, and let's go ahead and throw the underscore. Say OK. There we go. So we have our 3 sets that we're going to need. Now I need one more calculated field. Let's create a calculated field, and this is going to be called in at least one set. So this is basically the main calculated field that's going to drive what shows up on this on this visual right here. So I only want to show when my selection is in either the furniture set or the supply set or the technology set. So if I say furniture set or supply set or technology set, right, whichever, whoops, tab there, say OK. That's going to give me my in at least one set. I'm going to place that on a filter and true. And we're going to say OK. Nothing's going to change now because everything is in the set where it needs to be. So we're going to keep all of these values here. So I can clean up the formatting a little bit, and formatting in Tableau is one of my least favorite things, probably for everyone. Let's go in here to the borders, and I'm going to look for column divider, and let's make that none, so we get rid of that. Let's format the lines here on the sheet. Let's go to 0 lines and make those none. Well, no, you know what? On my 0 lines, I actually want those to be kind of like a thick black line here, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, so someone updated me on this technique. I used to just let my my bars hang there, but I believe I saw a presentation by the Flurridge twins, and I think I read some Ryan Sleeper. They like to have that bar there, so I decided, all right, let's keep the bar on the 0 line there. So that's why I'm doing that. Let's go to, I'm going to format lines, columns. Let's turn the grid lines off there so I lose that. We're just basically trying to clean this up. I can go in here. You know what? I can dual axis this first. Let's do this. Let's dual axis. And then I have to go, okay, so now I have to go in here and just change everything back to bars. So there's a bar and there's a bar. Basically, I've kind of laid these things on top of each other. Whenever you do dual axis, always synchronize your axes, right? So now I've kind of hidden up the gray, and we just have our slices of categories here that we see, right? And I can hide this. Right, we can get rid of that. So now we're kind of clean right here. And let's see, on our sum of sales, I think we already have the tooltip that we needed, so we should be good. Okay, so now we've kind of set up our base stacked bar chart. Now we're going to get into creating the legends that we need that we're going to use on the dashboard. So stick around for that. Okay, so we're going to create 3 legends for our categories. This is good. The first one is going to be, I'm going to call it furniture legend. Furniture legend. Are there any furniture legend? IKEA? Would IKEA be a furniture legend? Okay, bad pun there. But anyway, let's create. Let's do one of these. Our placeholders. You may have seen these in visualizations. And you may wonder, like, what is going on with the min ones if you're just starting out with Tableau. It's just a way to get dual axes out, or multiple axes out here, so you can do different things, so you can size things, place things where you want them. So you'll see that min 1 out here just as sort of like a placeholder. So let's show 2 of those out there, and let's do put our category here on the filter, and then since this is the furniture legend, I only want to see furniture. All right, so it doesn't do anything immediately, but that's okay. Actually, I'm going to show this. Let's show that filter, so it's only furniture that affects this legend. Let's put the category here on text. Whoops. Let's do this first. Not on all. On the first one here. Let's put the category on the label. All right. And then I want to make sure that this is text. Right. So you see I've got the furniture there. And then if I go in here, what size do I want to make this? I'm going to bring this back over here. Let's make this maybe like a bold 14, something like that. See how that looks. Okay. All right. And let's go ahead and put the furniture set on color. So let's take our furniture set. Let's put that on color. And that's okay. I want furniture to be blue. That's fine. And let's go ahead and do a dual axis here. Dual axis, and make sure that we're synchronized just in case. Let's get rid of these axes. We don't need to show them. So I've got kind of furniture right there. Let's go entire view. And all right, so what I'm going to do now, and I'll show you the significance of this later. Again, shout out to Dorian for this technique. You'll appreciate it later, but for now, just do what I say. For now, just follow orders, and I'll show you the significance later. But here we're going to go here and make this a square. And then I'm going to size this all the way up. Whoops. And we need to make sure that the opacity here, let's make sure that the opacity is there. So you'll see I do have this box that's on top of furniture here, right? And let's make this, all right, let's Can I make that color white just to make that make that go away? So okay. And the opacity, just double checking here. So my opacity is 0%. Okay. That's all good. All right. So the next thing I want to do now is make sure that our borders are formatted. So let's format the borders here. You got to love this. Sometimes it's just finding this stuff. So on the borders, column dividers, let's go with none here. That gets rid of that. Let's go to the row dividers, row divider in the pane. That gets rid of that right there. Then I'm going to format my lines here on the sheet. Let's make sure my 0 lines aren't there. Let's make sure on the columns also. All right, so columns also, my 0 lines aren't there. And then I want to make sure my grid lines aren't there as well. All right, so we just have this situation right here. Okay. And let's go ahead and repeat this process for supplies and technology. Okay, before we move on, one thing I forgot, let's go ahead and put the category here on the detail, right? We're going to need that because we're going to have to refer to that later. So let's go ahead and do that first. Okay, but wait, there's more. One last thing here. So even though I have this as a square, what I want this to be is I want this to be a shape. So let's go shape, and then let's go with the square here. And so once I do that, good. You'll see when I select, I don't get a color change. The furniture doesn't disappear. So that's the effect that I'm looking for and that we're going to duplicate, right? So we can also go into the tooltip. We don't need a tooltip on any of this stuff here, right? So again, just wanted to show you that this is basically what we're going to duplicate 2 more times for supplies and technology. So hopefully no more changes here. Let's get into this this duplication. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy this. Again, making sure if you're on color that the opacity is 0% on your second ag, so you don't get a you don't show any color here for the shape. So let's go ahead and duplicate this. And instead of furniture legend, let's go ahead and do technology, sure. Technology legend. There are tons of technology legends right there, right? Leave a comment of your favorite technology legend. So let's do the same things here. The only thing is I'm going to change this to technology, right? And then when I come in here to the color, let's see, can I go in here and change this this color? So out of the set is okay, but I want to make sure that the color that I select is going to be, for technology, it's red. So for now we'll leave it alone, but I may come in here and make sure that the technology is a red color. Oh, you know why? Because, let's go back in here, we have to switch out furniture set. Let's get rid of furniture set, and let's go to technology set and replace that. So there's just some things that we have to swap out. And then instead of in here, there we go. We want to make sure that is red. There we go. I'm doing this live, folks. So there we go. So that is red. My technology is red. And you see I get the same effect here for my technology legend. And so last but not least, let's go ahead and duplicate this. And then we're going to have a supplies legend. I don't know if there's an office supplies legend. Is there? I'm not too sure about that. But in any case, let's go ahead and make sure that we're selected on office supplies here. And then when you see the gray, that means we need to put our supplies set here on the color. And I don't want supplies to be blue. That needs to be, I believe that's orange. So let's apply that and say okay. And you'll notice here, okay, so my office supplies, so let's go in here to the size. All right, so that's all the way out. So you'll see how my office supplies is thinking outside the box, right? So I want to keep office supplies inside the box. So what I can do, I'm going to go over here to the data source. So if I go over here to data source and I find category, I can come over here and I can create an alias on office supplies. And so let's get rid of the office. And let's just go with supplies. So wherever, we have office supplies in the category, I'll just show a supply. So when I come in here, you'll see I just have supplies now, and it fits within the box like a nice little cubicle dweller here, right? So now we got furniture, we got technology, we have supplies. And so we're going to take these three legends along with the stack bar chart, put those on a dashboard. So when I select, we're going to set up some actions. So when I select on each of these, the visualization will be updated. So stick around for that. We'll get into a little bit of dashboard creation here in a second. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a dashboard setup here. I've got a dashboard that I created. 1,000 by 800, and I'm a fan of the Curtis Harris technique, as I've mentioned many times here. So we're going to use that basic floating, we'll call it a float. See, I'm on floating here. So we'll use a floating vertical that we're going to put everything inside. I'm going to go to layout here, and then my X and Y position are going to be 1, 1. And then obviously I know this is 1,000 by 800. So you'll see I have this big floating vertical that I'm going to stack everything in. The upside of that is I don't see kind of that tile in the item hierarchy that makes it a little bit confusing to read. So again, Curtis Harris, great video on that. Check that out on YouTube. So now within here, let's put a, I'm going to go back up in here. I'm going to keep it floating. But, I'm going to grab a vertical. I'm going to hold down Shift. We're going to drop that vertical in here. And then let's also put you see I have the vertical within the vertical, and then I can take a horizontal. I'm holding down Shift and throw that in there. I could switch to tiled and drag these in here, but I don't know. I just like holding down the Shift and keeping them floating. So you'll see I have two things going on here. And then I'm going to put another horizontal. Whoops, let's take another horizontal and put it here. And then I also, because strange things happen, I'm just going to put another horizontal here, and you stay with me. We'll see how all this comes together. So let's look at the item hierarchy. You see I've got a vertical and 3 horizontals within one big vertical. So I'm just kind of laying a basic container layout here. So now, what do I want to put in the top here? Well, let's put and I don't need a container here, but I like to do it anyway. So let's put some text here at the top. And again, we're not going to make this too fancy here. I'm just going to call this Superstore category sales by city. Yeah, nothing too fancy. Let's go with like an 18 point. Let's go bold and let's make this black. All right. Okay, so let's say okay here, and we have that. Very, very basic looking, but that's okay. And then within the horizontal here, this is going to be for my legends here. So let's go here, and then I'm going to extend this out a little bit. So let's go. I can't remember the order I had. I believe it was furniture. Let's go furniture. We throw that in here. See how this extra stuff gets thrown in here. You gotta love that. I hate when that happens, but that's why I kind of put extra boxes in here. Just gonna get rid of this. But again, I got my furniture, and you'll see the outlines of the square that we had there, right? And then let's go ahead and put in supplies, something like that. I can get rid of that. Let's hide the titles. Hide title. Furniture, supplies, and then technology. We can hide that title. And you'll see those are my 3 legends here. And I'll put a blank in here as well. So within this horizontal, I've got my 3 legends. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and squeeze these in here so we don't see kind of the outlines of the box, right? So you see I can still see it kind of a little bit here. So let's line things up. There we go. I kind of give that illusion that we're just selecting the furniture in here, but we're really kind of selecting that box. And so we're going to tighten that up. And again, I'll show you why that's so cool. Furniture, supplies, and then technology. Let's go ahead and tighten this up as well. And there we go. All right, so we have our legend, we have our blank here, and maybe I don't want to get too too deep into formatting because I just want to show you the basic technique. You can go wild with your own artistic vision after you have the basics. So now I have this kind of worksheet here. I don't really care about any of this stuff here. I can go like this. Well, I can say remove from dashboard. Delete that container. Here we go. So now I just have this container. That's why I put an extra container in there, because I know junk is going to show up from a container. Actually, I may just go ahead and put another horizontal in here, maybe down at the bottom for junk, just in case. So let's go ahead and put our, the star of the show in here. Let's put that in the middle. Let's go ahead and hide the title here. I don't need to see city, so we can hide field labels for rows. And then if I go back in here, it seems here, you see, that's why I put that down there. Let's go ahead and get rid of that guy as well. But I'm seeing this little line up here. That's okay. You know what? For our purposes, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just trying to set up the basics here. So there we go. We have this. And let's go ahead and create some set actions so we can actually update. You see that, when we select, nothing happens. We're going to put some set actions on here that when we select on each one of these legends, we'll have an update of the visual. So let's go ahead and do that next. Okay, first things first. I was going to leave this, but you know what? It's starting to, just bother me here. Let's go into this sheet and let's turn off this line back here. So we're going to right click, we want to format the borders. And on the sheet, I want to make sure the row divider pane is none, and that goes away. So that was just bothering me a little bit. So now we're a lot cleaner right here. So there we go. We're fresh and clean, in the words of Outcast, right? So let's go ahead and create some actions, right? And we're going to go up here to dashboard, actions. So we're going to create set actions. So change set values. So I'm going to create 3. So let's go the first one. I'm just going to call it furniture, if I can spell that right. That looks okay. So again, on selection of the furniture legend, obviously the data source is the only one that I have here. And I want to assign values to set here. So you may say, what's the difference between assign values to set and add values to set? So when you assign a value to a set, you're going to replace all the values in the set with values that are selected or clicked upon. If I add values to set, it's going to individually add the selected values to the set, right? So the distinction is, if I already have values in the set, I'm just adding. So if I have ABC in the set, if I select add values to set, it's going to add, DEF. Or if I say assign values to set, I get a clean slate, and it's just going to add, what the new selections. Anyway, a little bit of minutia there. Just follow orders or research it if you want some more information on the difference between assign and add. And then clearing the selection is going to remove all the values from the set. So that is furniture. Oh, we got to make sure we select the set, the furniture set. Say OK. And we're just going to repeat this, right? Rinse and repeat. Change set values. This is going to be supplies. And same deal here. Make sure that's supplies. Make sure the set is supplies. Assign values to set. Remove all values from set. And then last but not least, change set values. And then this is going to be technology. And then make sure this is the technology set. Remove all values from set. Assign values to set. So, all right, so we have 3 set actions here. And so let's see what happens if I did this correctly. Let's select furniture. There we go. See how the furniture goes away. Supplies goes away, and technology, there we go. All right, so we set up those actions correctly. So we're doing good here. We're in business. We got a basic dashboard, and our set actions are working. As I select and deselect, things show up. So last but not least, we need to get the totals in here. So when I show just 2 of the 3, I want to see what the total is for the remaining values here, whether it be 1 or 2. And then when I get to 3, I want it to go away because we already have this fixed LOD telling us our total by city. So again, shout to Dorian on this. I love this technique. We're going to walk through this next. Okay, so let's go back to our stacked bar chart here. I'm going to go up here. Boom, we've got this, and I really like how this came together. This technique here, because it's reference lines that are creating that are giving us our totals, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to do this a little bit different than the way Dorian does it. He puts this directly on the marks curve. I'm just going to put the formula out here. Basically, if the sum of sales is less than the fixed LOD, then show me the sum of sales. And then he's putting the total around there, so it turns it into a table calculation. So it works with the table. It works with the total table calculation. If just do sum of sales, it doesn't work in the way that you would think that it would work. So the table calculation is the key here with the total. So I'm just going to call this set totals, or we can call it category totals, whatever you want. So there's set totals. I have that. And then let's go to the sum of sales. And let's put this on the details. So it's just there. You'll see it's a table calc, but I want to compute it using the cell. Right, so that's the key. Make sure you're computing it using the cell. I'm doing that a little bit different than the way Dorian does it, but you could also crack open his workbook and perform it his way as well. I think in the version I have on Tableau Public, I have it the Dorian way, but I kind of like this this way. I just putting it in its own calculation and then computing by cell. Anyway, we've got that set up. Now I want to show, because I want a reference line, let's just show some headers here, right? And I want to use a reference line on the, so make sure on the sum of sales header. So I'm going to go in here, we're going to add a reference line. And if I'm doing this correctly, let's do per cell. And then for the sum of sales, I want to do set total. And then we want to make sure that this is we can do that as a sum. And the label is going to be the value, okay? And we're going to say okay. And then let's go back to the dashboard. Let's see if we did this correctly. Obviously, I can hide these, but let's see. I select furniture. There we go. So you'll see I've got totals, and that looks about right. When I have all three, it disappears. When I have two, I'm getting the totals that I need. All right, so we're doing that right. And so now we just have to format the reference lines. It took me forever to reverse engineer this because I was like, these are reference lines. It seemed counterintuitive. I thought they were labels. So that's why I thought this was so creative. So let's go back here and let's just format these. I was like, how do you format the reference lines? You have to right click format. So just little things like this, you would think, shouldn't take that long to figure out. It took me a while to figure that out, how to format that. So anyway, we're going to format that, and let's go with the alignment. Let's go, what is this? We want to make sure that we are maybe in the middle here, and then let's go to the left. There we go. I kind of like that a little better, right? When we go here, and I can hide this as well. And as we go back, I've got my 2. All right, it goes away when I have 3. Take one away, I have 2, and I have 1. Now I have none. All right. And so there it is. I want to show you this. So you may be wondering, remember I said I was going to show you why we have those boxes here. Remember the shape square. So let's say that I did not have this here, right? So let's say that I took away, let's just take away this second one, and I just have the technology here, right? And if I go back, let's go to technology. When I select it, you'll notice I get that annoying blue highlight, and then I'm underlining. Underlining I don't mind, but you'll notice like the annoying blue highlight that I don't have on any of the other, there we go. I don't have that on any of the other selections. So that's the neat thing about having that box on top that you're selecting, so you don't have that annoying blue. You may like the blue, I don't like it, but that is why, that's an ingenious kind of technique there that Dorian put in here. So I'm going to Control Z back out of this until we are correct. So yes, let's get us back to here. How am I looking? There we go. All right. So anyway, this is the technique. So I've walked you through this. You've seen how we used set actions to and these worksheets here, these legends to drive what shows up on the stacked bar chart, and then we used reference we use reference lines essentially to sum the categories that are left in the viz. So great technique. Again, follow Dorian Benatoyu. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but big shout out to him. I enjoyed reverse engineering this and putting this on Tableau Superstore and making the video and sharing it with you. So if you like this video, please give me a like, leave a comment saying that you learned something, and make sure you follow Dorian at Canonicalized Co on Twitter as well. So again, this has been Anthony Smoak. I appreciate you watching. Get out there, do some great things with your data. Thanks for watching, everyone.